Okay, we're going to completely change tack now and talk about esports and gaming, which are massively popular here in the Middle East, as I'm sure many of you know, particularly here in Saudi Arabia, where they are predicted to contribute $13 billion to the country's GDP by 2030. Also in Saudi, women make up 48% of total gamers, which is pretty incredible when we think about it being a traditionally male sport. And this contributes to an increasing global trend of women taking part in esports. With us to discuss this phenomenon is Rain Abbas, the founder and chief executive officer of Wixel Studios, which is Lebanon's first gaming startup. And she's also from Spikertech. She also works at Speakertech, a company that teaches kids how to create games, and I'm sure she's going to tell us more about that. She will be joined on stage by the Chief Operating Officer of Scopely, Eunice Lee, and my colleague, Fortune's Emma Hinchcliffe.
Four.
So there's lots of opportunity here. So
Five.
by the end, maybe more people will say they want to become gamers. So let's see. But Ren, you were one of the first female game designers in the Middle East. What was the industry like when you started for women, and where is it today?
When I started, it was non-existing for any species, man, women, anyone. Non-existing, no one knew that we even can do video games. And that's why everyone thought you're crazy to open a video game company from Lebanon, especially. You know, in Lebanon, we don't have even infrastructure for video games. So so I think I'm proud also that I created the first step to have video games production in the region.
What made you confident that it would work when there was nothing?
No, I was not confident at all. I was panicking, but I was bored because I was working, you know, with US companies, doing games for them. And for me, I can really tell a lot of stories. I can change a lot in my company, in my country, and all over the region. So I think one game gave me this power. I did a political game, street fight game between politicians online, because I remember I was stuck on the road, you know, people were fighting each other's, young people. So I thought I can't change anything. If I do a video game, maybe I will take these young people from the street and put them online, and they can, you know, fight with these politicians to turn the round, if you want to change the reality. And it was so successful that everyone's playing from all over the world, millions of players. And I said, you know, I need to quit my job, go to Lebanon, create my own company, and to do games that can change my reality and others' reality. And I was crazy, stressed, but you know, I think this successful game gave me this power to start.
Sometimes you need crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Eunice, tell us about the market for gaming in the Middle East and in Saudi Arabia specifically.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it was interesting to do that poll because I'm betting there's actually way more folks in here that I would count as a gamer. I think, you know, what's interesting in all of mobile gaming is probably 50% of, you know, people say, I'm a gamer, or I play games, you know, but here in MENA, the percentage of folks that identify as a gamer is 89% of the population. Like, that's kind of insane. But, you know, often in the West or whatnot, you get these ratios that are different.
Why is that?
So a lot of people who play, for example, a lot of our games that are super popular, like Scrabble Go or Yahtzee with Betties, folks play that, but they don't think of themselves as a gamer when they're playing that mobile game. If you've ever touched something like Candy Crush or some of those titles I just said, Monopoly Go, one of ours, you're a gamer. But I think there's an opportunity to really change who identifies as a gamer and to feel proud to say that you're a gamer. There's sometimes a bit of a an old school notion of what's identified as a gamer. And it's like a high school teenager in the basement of their parents' house playing a video game all night long. And I don't think that's the case anymore. And what I love about the MENA region and what I really love about Saudi Arabia is how proud both women and men are to be like, I'm a gamer and I love playing games, whether that's on my mobile phone or on PC or on console. So it's sort of a very exciting place to be.
Definitely. Ren, tell us about what you've seen in terms of a rise in female gamers. How have women as gamers changed, especially in the Middle East, and how has that changed gaming? Are there new games being built for them? Is it changing the way the industry works?
No, we have more female gamers, but still, for me, the games are developed or produced for females are, I think they think it's not worth it. And for me, as a decision maker, publisher, designer, developer, my mission was to create games that, AAA maybe games or really adventure games, real games, and to really attract these females to play these games. Because if you see the data, yes, we have more females, but the games they're playing, are not the games that are competing on the market or really can change. So as a decision maker, I made sure that the games I produce from my studio will generate more gamers, especially racing games, adventure games, action games. And for me, this will change. So again, if the females are decision makers, developers, game designers, producers, will change the industry, and the games are produced for everyone again. And we will have more females and really games that are again, changing or competing on consoles, PC, online. And it's again, I'm really proud that from our region we have more gamers and we have more developers. But I think we have to do more work to have, have more numbers or to raise these numbers.
Why does that matter? Like, is gaming an economic opportunity for women that we are missing out on?
Yes, of course. A single game can, the team of a single game can be, from different industries and from different skills and major. You have like game designers, developer, artists, storytellers, narrative. You have marketing, development, business development, sound. It's a big production, even for a small game. And yes, it will create more job opportunities that really can, make a difference in the economy of any country. The video games are the biggest industry in the world. And to have more females in this industry will affect the economy. It will affect, it's a ripple effect. And it will change also, may I say, the toxic gameplay also. It's really important. There's a lot of big companies, they are struggling because they reach a place where their games are toxic. And it starts from the non-ethical design. So now they want to go to the ethical gameplay and ethical design. So also, when you have more female involved in the narrative and the game design, it will also make a non-toxic,
What is non-ethical design? What have some of the problems been?
Non-ethical design, it will lead to non-ethical gameplay or non-ethical play means that you have bullying, people, they bully each others. Also, when you also punish the players, they punish the players. So if they don't play for a specific time, they lose their rewards, they lose their achievement. And this will trigger the players, and it will affect, especially online multiplayer games, and when they play like open world, they play each other. So this is really important to go back to ethical game design or ethical design, because it will lead to successful business.
So Eunice, what is Scopely doing, and what should other companies be doing to reach more female gamers?
Yeah, I think we're blessed in mobile gaming in particular, where actually 50% or more of our gamers are women often, so there's a huge opportunity there. Again, they may not all identify as gamers. But I think touching upon what you were saying, we at Scopely, we take it pretty seriously, and I think it's super important first and foremost to make sure that you have inclusivity as sort of a principle in terms of how you're going to make games and the culture in which you have employees, so that everybody can kind of bring their different voices to the table. We at Scopely have created an inclusive design committee, and it's exactly what you were describing, but it's to ensure that, for example, our characters truly are representative of who they're supposed to be. So it's not somebody writing in the voice of somebody else that they have not walked in the shoes of or necessarily understand, or it almost comes across as a caricature of a culture. And we have a senior director, Tule McNally, who we hired from Electronic Arts, who leads up all of our inclusive game design. And one cool example of that is in one of our games, Marvel Strike Force, which takes all the characters of the Marvel universe into its game. The team actually created a new Marvel character that does not exist in the Marvel universe from the comic book side. That was the first Navajo Native American character, Spider Weaver. And Marvel blessed that character, and we were able to put it in the game. So there's interesting ways where we can also inflect back into pop culture and vice versa. And so I think that's just one tiny example, but these things are happening every day, increasingly in gaming, probably not fast enough. So the more we can do this, and the more that, whether it's gaming or other industries where there's product creation and creativity, the more you have inclusive voices and you come at this principled, inclusive design approach, the better the outcome's going to be and the better audience reach you're going to have ultimately.
Definitely. Well, I'll come to everyone for questions in a moment, so if you have any, start thinking. Ren, we talked about the economic opportunity for women on the career side, but what about on the professional gaming side? What are women missing out on? I mean, the overwhelming share of professional gamers are men.
A lot. I said today I don't want to nag on the stage. I want to, to find solutions. There's a lot of missing, but for me, when I started, again, I did not think that I'm a girl or a woman working in this industry. Although I remember I was the only female in the team when I started. I did not think about this. For me, any species, again, if you work hard, you're motivated, you want to do it, do well, to want to learn everything, you have to be open to learn. You can reach, high levels in any industry. And, but, education and how we are raising girls, they start so, with a lot of dreams, and they reach an age, they think they are limited. And I think, like platforms like today, public speaking, conferences, lectures, recruitment will help women, step forward and believe that they can be executive, they can create, they can
win millions of dollars as professional gamers.
Of course. So you have gamers and producers. These two are important because they can't be non-connected. So these females are playing games, and these games are made by other people. So again, these two should be connected, should be linked, should be pushed in a different way, should be talked about in a different way to make a difference and to encourage these women to do whatever they want. I'm again from Lebanon. And this is really a difficult country. I did all these, games, successful games. I did not think about, again, I want to do something to say that I'm a woman doing games. But also, I'm a mother for 3 kids. They are gamers, producers, of course. And I'm their hero because, I worked with the biggest names. I was on stage with their, idols from Roblox, Fortnite, all these big names. So I did it I had a difficult also, roadmap, if you want, a journey. But for me, if I want to do something, I will do it. So, and again, in any industry, in any field, we should not stop nagging, but they should know that we should not be in lists. We should not be in only women conferences.
Yeah.
We can compete again with any species, and we can reach, there's no limits. So just believe it, and don't listen to anyone, So again, as a mother, entrepreneur, I had a lot of, judgment around me. She's pregnant, she's sick, so everything will stop. So I had to do double effort. I have to tell everyone, it's okay, I'm a CEO, founder, but nothing will stop. So this extra effort, I know we should not do it, but again, disconnect, do whatever you want. You will have more females and leaders in the industry, especially video games.
Emma, can I add really quickly to that? I would just...
Yeah, I just want to make sure we have time for
Oh,
questions if
sure,
anyone
sure,
has
yeah.
any. Okay, we have one right here.
I can say loud.
Yeah, I think a microphone should be to you in a second.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so let me. Now I'll say less loud. So hi, this is Prashasti. I'm the founder and CEO for Crispy Data. We do all things AI. But in gaming, and excuse my awareness on the gaming industry in general, but I have a very basic question, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
Like when I was an engineer 30 years ago, I did AI 30 years ago, people always thought like I'm this person sitting somewhere in the basement, to your earlier comment, and building stuff in my garage with AI and stuff like that. Now I think people are more popular, like AI is important. But in gaming, how can the perception, like the gaming is you with your computer or you with your phone doing the game, how do you see or have you seen gaming to be a unifying factor to bond the community, any species again, together? Like what is the forward thinking around making gaming industry as a unifying society and a community?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, Scopely in particular, we're very focused on community building and making experiences. And sometimes people, you want that time to be alone, right? And you want to have that solo experience and escape the world. But we have found that when folks connect their gaming experience with whatever their social graph is and their social networks and communities, there's 3 times the engagement in that game. So I think gaming inherently is something, even if you're playing solo, you end up going out in the world and talking and finding people who share that joy, who share that passion, who you want to be in community with and talk about and dissect the game. But we really want games that actually bring people together and have mechanics in it that bring community and social communication. And so, we really want to inspire play every day and with others. So that's really important to us as Scopely, and I think to a lot of the gaming companies out there.
Ren, what community have you seen among women in the Middle East, among game designers? How have you built that?
Yes, it was difficult at the beginning to join these people together, but I think games are the best medium to do anything, any change, any link, to bring people together. Like she said, it's an escape word. And if you play on the fellowship and the engagement between players, it's more powerful. And I think games can really change a lot as education games, informative games, casual games. It's a big responsibility to bring messages, to bring these people together. Like I said, with ethical design, it is a big and strong medium to change again and to empower, women, girls, youth. We did a lot of games to help teenagers to survive, their difficult age, like my kids. It's disaster, now. 3 teenagers, oh my God. So I'm to have a mother gamer and a game designer, because we use manipulation. Good manipulation for players. I need you to be in the game, to stay in the game. So this is a power for me to deal with my teenagers. But yeah, it is a powerful medium. That's why it's a big responsibility to bring people together and to empower them, to change their, their mindset, to promote health, health mindset again. That's why you have two words now in the video games. You have video games that are, again, non-ethical, you know, they play on triggering the players, and you have really good games that based on great mechanics, fun. There's a lot of, you know, messages inside, like environment, educational, or so yeah, you can change a lot, but you need the right people with, you know, the ethical mind to do that.
And the right games. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.